Howdy, everybody. I'm Mark Welsh, the very fortunate Dean of the Bush School, and I'd like to welcome you this morning to the Bush Center, to the Bush School of Government and Public Service, to Texas A&M University, and here to the Annenberg Presidential Conference Center. It's wonderful to see you, whether you're here in the auditorium with us or you're watching on Zoom. Thanks for joining us. This is a wonderful celebration for us every year because we get to recognize people from multiple programs. And today we're honoring our graduates from our programs for our Executive Master of Public Service and Administration, our Master of Public Service and Administration, and our Master of International Policy programs. And we get to do it in person, which is even cooler for those of us who've been missing seeing you guys for the last couple of years. We are really proud of this class of 2021, and we're really excited that all of you are here to celebrate them with us. Let me introduce you to a couple of people joining me on the stage because I'm not the only one privileged to be here. Dr. Frank Ashley III, Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Senior Professor of the Bush School, is here with me. Frank? As well as Dr. F. Gregory Goss III, Professor and Department Head of International Affairs and holder of the John Lindsay Chair here at the Bush School. And finally, Dr. Lori Taylor, Professor and Department Head for Public Service and Administration and holder of the Joe R. and Teresa Lozano Long Endowed Chair in Business and Government at the Bush School. You know, everyone here, whether they're a faculty, a staff member, or an administrator, is dedicated to ensuring that all of you reach this moment in time. It's the only reason that we have a job here. It's why we love what we do. Our faculty lead the charge in that effort. These scholars and practitioners really are experts in their field, and they are completely dedicated both to learning and to your success. A couple of our faculty members are here with us this morning, so could I ask the faculty members who are here to stand up and take a bow? I know we have a couple on Zoom as well. That'll be a harder bow, but... Our staff members here are absolutely world-class, and they play a critically important role in everything we do, from registration to administering their students' activities through the program to setting up ceremonies like this and events that we hold throughout the year. They are absolutely wonderful people, and they are the biggest cheerleaders for all of you. And they'll track your success, I promise you. When you come back, they'll celebrate with you in the halls, and they'll remember your names. So it's wonderful to have some of them here as well with our staff members who are here this morning. Stand up. And there's some in the back as well. You guys rock. And of course, central to this event, I think, are our guests of honors, the candidates for these degree programs that we're going to award this morning. They've done a lot of hard work in conjunction with other things going on in both their personal and professional lives. This is not an easy thing to do for many of you mid-career. I know, I've done it. And we understand how hard the work is, we understand the time it takes, and we understand the sacrifices that go with it. So would our candidates stand up and turn around and let's give you a round of applause for all the hard work. Thank you very much. And I think the candidates would rush the stage and pummel me if I forget this one other group that we probably ought to acknowledge this morning, and that's the family and friends and loved ones of our candidates. Thank you not just to the ones who are with us today, but to all of you who've supported them throughout this process. We're very lucky to have those of you who are in the auditorium here today, so the rest of us can say thank you. And this ceremony just wouldn't be the same without you here. So thanks for taking the time and the trouble to make it. No one is more responsible for the success of the folks sitting in the first three rows. You supported them wholeheartedly, you encouraged them tirelessly, and then you made sacrifices on their behalf while they went through this program and did the things they had to do to tackle this challenge. Just like you've sacrificed and helped them through all the other challenges they faced in their personal and professional lives. I think the rest of us will feel honored to join our candidates if you guys would like to stand and turn around and give them a round of applause. This is the 24th year of the Bush School of Government and Public Service. We spent the last 24 years here with everybody from the first faculty members and the first staff to the folks who serve today, sending graduates out to serve or continue to serve their fellow citizens, and it's something we're awfully proud of. George H.W. Bush is deep in the DNA of his school. He spoke often of our graduates being his living legacy of public service, and we believe you are. That's exactly what you do as you step out of the building here. And if he was here today, I can promise you he'd be incredibly proud. So speaking on his behalf, thanks for the hard work, thanks for your lives of service, and thanks for being Bush School members. He'd be looking at a class of already proven professional performers and public servants who will soon walk across this stage and significantly strengthen the ranks of our already distinguished Bush School former student network, which you are about to become a member of. The good news for the Bush School, the state of Texas, and the nation is that you aren't the last ones. There are generations of them still to come. And the good news for you graduates is that today certainly won't be your last or your most significant contribution. Not to the Bush School, not to your communities, not to your families, not to your society. You're going to continue to experience huge success in the future, and we are excited to watch it. Thanks to each of you for living up to the standards set by President Bush. Remember, he repeatedly emphasized that a successful life, by definition, includes service to others, and there's so many things in your CVs that point to that service. Before we begin to honor our degree candidates, I'd like to recognize 5 of our Master of Public Service and Administration candidates who went the extra academic mile during their time with us. Woodrea Bonsa, Rhonda Doherty, Tony Lenora Portwood, David Michael Rainwater, and Laura Ozinga. If you're here with us, please stand up. I know there's at least one online here, I think. And just remain standing for a minute. These 5 students have been awarded the Dean's Leadership Certificate, and they earned it by completing additional education and training in the form of additional coursework, program workshops, self-study programs, and assessments that included personalized feedback and individual leadership development planning. They also did experiential learning activities with things like extracurricular activities, extracurricular organizations, participating in organizing events, and doing various service projects. Now, all of our students are already pretty darn busy in this program and in their lives, so adding this extra load is nothing to sneeze at. So congratulations to each of you on this really tremendous accomplishment, and thank you for setting an example for all of us. We appreciate it. By the way, we'll hand you that leadership certificate along with the magic tube when you come across the stage, okay? We'd also like to congratulate and recognize one of our Master of Public Service and Administration degree candidates who earned the Medal of Excellence. Now, the Medal of Excellence is optional, and it's a very rigorous program that the students may pursue while they're here. It requires the students to complete that Dean's Leadership Certificate I just mentioned and to prepare a reflective learning e-portfolio, which basically documents everything the student has done throughout the program. Laura Ozinga actually completed that. So Laura, would you please stand, and let's give you a round of applause for doing great work. Laura, that certificate's also with the magic tube, and we'll have a medal for you as you come across the stage too, so you will look particularly cool by the time you get to the photos. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. F. Gregory Gauze III, our International Affairs Department Head, to present the candidates for the Master of International Policy degree.
Thank you, Dean Welsh. Howdy. Howdy. We welcome today 4 candidates who are in the Master of International Policy program. The Master of International Policy is a 30 graduate credit hour, non-thesis degree program offered fully in residence with an option of taking up to 6 credits online on the Texas A&M University College Station campus and now at the new Bush School, Washington, D.C. teaching site. The Master of International Policy degree aims to strengthen students' ability to understand complex issues through rigorous coursework. Well-published scholars and seasoned practitioners from federal agencies lead in-depth classroom discussions, collaborate on research, and mentor students in and out of the classroom. The program seeks to expand students' worldview and prepare them to advance their careers in international affairs. Students may select either the National Security and Diplomacy track or the International Development and Economic Policy track. The National Security and Diplomacy track of study provides students with the knowledge and intellectual skills necessary for contributing to the protection of the national society in an anarchical international system. You can ask Mr. Leonard what that means after the ceremony. The International Development and Economic Policy track equips students with the theories, practice, and analytical skills necessary for careers in international affairs, international development, and economic policy. Students admitted in the program have a minimum of 4 years of professional experience in the field of international affairs. Today, we celebrate our Master of International Policy candidates who have excelled in meeting all master's degree requirements to earn a Master of International Policy degree from the Bush School of Government and Public Service at Texas A&M University. Dean Welsh, faculty, and guests, I have the honor of presenting the following students who are candidates for graduating with the Master of International Policy degree.
Master of International Policy, Kyle Leonard. We recognize the Master of International Policy candidate, John Santamaria, who is joining us remotely. Congratulations. We also recognize the Master of International Policy candidates from the Washington, D.C. teaching site who are joining us remotely. Ryan Joseph Haberman. Congratulations. Craig Singleton. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you who have completed the requirements for the Master of International Policy degree. At this time, I invite Dr. Laurie L. Taylor, head of the Department of Public Service and Administration, to the podium to present the candidates for the Master of Public Service and Administration degree.
Howdy. That never gets old, does it? Okay. I am very pleased today to recognize the candidates for the degree of Master of Public Service and Administration. Graduates today come from 2 tracks in our program, the Executive Master of Public Service Administration and the regular Master of Public Service and Administration, and we are very pleased to recognize them all. The Master of Public Service and Administration degree program is a rigorous degree program fully accredited by the Network of Schools of Public Policy, Affairs and Administration, also known as NASPA, who are the leaders in global standard for public service education. The Residential Master of Public Service and Administration program develops principled leaders for the public and nonprofit sectors, providing students the tools and knowledge they will need in order to perform effectively and ethically in a time when public service face new and increasing challenges. It is a rigorous 48 graduate credit hour non-thesis degree program that includes an internship experience. Students in the Residence Masters of Public Service Administration program may choose a track of nonprofit management, public management, or public policy analysis. They may also choose from a variety of specializations to gain further in-depth learning in a specific area. Students are required to complete a culminating 2-semester research capstone experience where they work in teams with clients such as a government agency or nonprofit organization to tackle a real-world, current and pressing problem. The executive format of the Master in Public Service Administration degree is also called the EMPSA program, and it is a non-thesis 39 graduate credit hour course of study online that prepares principled leaders who have the critical skills, knowledge, and expertise to excel and lead in the public service field. The EMPSA program develops in-depth advanced skills in public service leadership, decision-making, and evaluative methods within the public sector. Degree program applicants must have at least 5 years of full-time professional service, public service experience with 3 years at the mid to upper level, even to apply to the program. And our typical graduate is well beyond the minimum requirements. The current average level of experience in the program is 17 years of professional experience. EMPSA students choose between 3 tracks of Homeland Security, Nonprofit Management, or Public Management. The EMPSA program also requires a culminating 2-semester research capstone experience, where students work at a government agency or nonprofit organization. As part of the program requirement, students must attend 2 separate 1-week residency programs for a total of 2 rigorous required weeks in residence at Texas A&M University in College Station, or from here on forward, at the recently added Washington, D.C. location. Today we celebrate all of our Masters of Public Service and Administration candidates who have excelled in meeting all master's degree requirements, as well as track-specific requirements. We honor these candidates who have further developed the in-depth and advanced knowledge, skills, and expertise to earn a Master of Public Service and Administration degree from the Bush School of Government at Texas A&M University. Dean Welsh, faculty, and guests, I have the honor of presenting the following students who are candidates for graduating with a Master of Public Service and Administration degree.
We recognize the Master of Public Service and Administration candidate who is joining us remotely, Praboda Gida. Congratulations. We also recognize the Executive Master of Public Service and Administration candidates who are joining us remotely, Ray Abonse. Congratulations. Timothy T. Cook. Congratulations. We now recognize the Executive Master of Public Service and Administration candidates, Grady Carpenter. David M. Cheney. Blake Delina. Rhonda Doherty. Timothy Gautier. Jesse James Henage. Christopher Michael Jett. Christopher Knight. William E. Koch, Jr. Schwan McGuire Ford. Laura Ozinga. Tony Lenora Portwood. David Michael Rainwater. Cody Stewart. Sarah Thompson. Dave Wright.
What an impressive bunch of Aggie rings. So, please join me in offering congratulations to all of you who have completed the requirements for the Master of Public Service and Administration degree. Now I invite MPSA candidate Ms. Schwan McGuire Ford to the podium.
Howdy. Howdy. When asked to present the Faculty Silver Star Award, I replied yes, it would be an honor. The Silver Star Award is presented to a faculty member each graduating class, and the recipient is selected by the students. The award is a way of recognizing a faculty member's outstanding commitment to the Bush School, its vision, and its students. This year's winner is one of the most patient professors I've ever known. He shows genuine care to his students by being very responsive, easy to talk to, and his field experience is remarkable. I've really enjoyed learning from him. My personal experience with him has been when I was having difficulty in a class, and I asked if I could call him. We discussed the issue, but he also took the time to talk to me about my experiences and how he could relate to some of my experiences. I felt for that moment that he was not only a professor, but he was also a human being. This was good to know. And he also saw me as a human being as well, just not another number in the class. So it gives me great honor to invite Dr. Brian Nakamura to the podium to receive the 2021 Faculty Star Award. Congratulations, Dr. Nakamura. I now invite Dr. Frank Ashley, Senior Associate Dean of the Academic Affairs, to come to the podium and introduce the Fall 2021 graduation speaker. Thank you.
Howdy. That's the way I like it right there. Graduating Bush School students select one individual to serve as the class speaker. It's a student that's demonstrated outstanding academics, but also leadership throughout their master's program. Today we're honored to recognize Tony Lenora Portwood, an Executive Master of Public Service and Administration candidate, as our Fall Class of 2021 speaker. Let me tell you a little bit about Tony. Have a seat there, Tony, not yet. Tony's worked for 15 years in several roles for Southwest Transplant Alliance. She's serving potential organ tissue donor families, hospital staff, and organ tissue recipients. Just recently, she transitioned into the role as an educator. And it's in that role that Tony says that she gets to live out her passion every day. And that is the role of serving others. Tony's passion is working with potential organ and tissue donor families, supporting them, and educating them on the mission of saving lives. She also has a passion for educating her staff, and she enjoys working alongside them to help coach and mentor them. Working as an in-house coordinator at the Parkland Health and Hospital System, Tony helped publicize the paper that she co-authored with two colleagues from Parkland Health and Hospital System. The poster was titled, "Improving the Organ Donation Process, the Iowa Model Approach." She's spoken at countless national conferences on different topics within the organ tissue donation realm. She's also served on national committees to try to streamline the processes to decrease the organ transplant waiting list. Tony shares that she has been truly blessed by the selfless acts of the donor families more than she has in any previous job. She describes her work as a calling, not as a job. In the past, prior to starting this journey here at the Bush School, Tony volunteered at her church to help the homeless. She helped with families that came to Texas during Katrina, served in soup kitchens, worked with the Therapet organization in East Texas to provide support to children and adults that were in the hospitals for days, weeks, and months at a time. She's helped with many events that benefit organ, tissue, eye donations. And she plans to start volunteering again in 2022 after some much needed rest. You definitely need a little rest here. Besides having the most supportive family, which includes her 2 adorable grandchildren, 3 of her biggest achievements have been helping her elderly parents and being a caregiver to her mom in her last 2 years of life. Earning her BBA, magna cum laude, at age 32, and now earning her EMPSA at age 51. It's truly an honor for me to welcome the Fall 2021 graduation celebration class speaker to the stage, Tony Lenora Portwood. Tony, I'm tired reading all that.
Howdy. Howdy. It's such an honor to stand here today before you all, the ones that are online. I think my department from work is online, so thank you guys. They are the ones that help get me through and get me here today besides my family. I've wanted to do this since I was 5 years old, and I finally, like my mom would tell me, you finally made it. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about my journey, what public service means to me, and what this school means to me. Pardon me if I read. They told me to speak for 10 to 15 minutes, and I can't memorize all that, so I have a lot of notes here. Just thank you to our families, friends, Bush School staff, faculty, Dean Welsh, and my unwavering classmates of 2021. These people right here, the Bush School of Government and Public Service has been a life-changing experience, I think, for all of us, including our families. I started in the spring of 2020 and have not looked back. There were many times I asked myself, did I belong? The answer was always yes, you belong. God reminded me through this journey, it seems like for 10 years, but it's really been for 2 years, that I belong because of my passion to serve others. He's graciously given me a burning desire to help others, to help serve others before myself. President George H.W. Bush once said, "Be bold in your caring, be bold in your dreaming, and above all else, always do your best." There are 2 people that I owe a great deal of gratitude besides my family that are here today to celebrate this accomplishment, is my mom and my dad. My mom, who is adored and loved so much, she was my first best friend. And she is extremely missed every day. She lost her battle to Parkinson's and dementia this past February. So in the middle of getting my degree, one of her last statements to me was, "You keep going. You got this." I know without a doubt that she's here with me today. She served until her last days on earth. My mom served the Lord, her husband that's been in the ministry for over 40 years, her 3 children, her 3 grandchildren, and her 6 precious great-grandchildren. She served by loving us unconditionally. She served us by teaching and leading by example that God was number 1, family was second, and so on and so forth. I watched my mom serve others even when she needed rest. She kept going, just like we've been taught to do. My father is still with us, and he instilled a work ethic and a love for people in me at a young age. He taught me to serve throughout my childhood And in fact, at 78 years old, he's still pastoring a church out in East Texas. He serves in his community. There are many times that I've been told by strangers that my father was the only thing that kept their lights on, the only reason that they had groceries, and the only reason that they kept warm in the winter and cool in the summer. So I've never known what it was like not to serve others. I think he would have beat that into me if I had not just been willingly dedicated to that. When I was 15 years old, I got my first real job at Chick-fil-A. I learned a lot from this job and still reminisce about those times. The founder of Chick-fil-A was S. Truett Cathy. He was an amazing leader and mentor. So everything you think and see at Chick-fil-A, it's genuine. It's the real deal. I had the honor to meet him several times in Atlanta, Georgia. I went through some coursework there as well. And Mr. Cathy states, nearly every moment of every day, we have the opportunity to give something to someone else, our time, our love, and our resources. For the past 15 years, I've been afforded the opportunity to serve families that are experiencing a loss of a loved one and sit with them and offer them hope, to offer them the opportunity to honor their loved one through the life-changing gift of a second chance of life, and that's through organ tissue and eye donation. I've met some of the most selfless people in the last 15 years, and I'm in awe of their selflessness and their grief they choose to give to others. This program has given me the confidence that I did not have before. Just the thought of answering a discussion question, doing a voiceover on a PowerPoint, didn't know you could do that, and the test, the 20-page papers, I didn't think that I had that in me. Today, we earned the Bush School of Government and Public Service Certificate of Achievement and our Texas A&M University diploma because we worked hard. We remained steadfast in the fear of the unknown. I graduated from high school in 1988, a long time ago, probably before most of my classmates were born. And I went to a couple of semesters of junior college after that, but I was going to work really hard not to have to go to school. And so I found myself in 1997, single mom, 3-year-old baby girl that's here today that I adore and love so much. Thank you, Taylor. So I found myself, and I was as lost could be. I was in a job that didn't pay well, and I wanted more for my daughter and myself. I heard an advertisement on the radio that Laterno University in Longview, Texas offered an adult learning one night a week study group and 1 night a week class for a Bachelor in Business Administration degree. That's where we happened to be living at the time. And just short of 4 a.m. one morning, God woke me up and shook me to my core and said, get up and do something. So I did. I was working 40 hours a week, picked up some weekend work when Taylor, my daughter, was at her dad's house for the weekend to make ends meet. When Taylor woke up that morning, I was fixing her breakfast before school, and I remember standing at the stove, cooking her eggs, and tears just flowing down my face. Little did I know Taylor saw me, and I was trying to hide it. Didn't work out too well. She said, Mom, are you sad? And I said, these are tears of joy. I want to go back to school so we can live a better life. I explained to her that I would be in class 1 night a week and study group 1 night a week, and if she approved and was patient, of course in her 3-year-old language, she'd be rewarded in the end. 4 years later, I graduated with my BBA, and 6 months after that, I surprised Taylor with a 6-day trip to Disney World. I think she would have said, you can go back to school anytime you want to. It took me 10 years to muster up the courage and go back to school after high school and to face bigger possibilities and challenges. I'm a first-generation graduate, and my father dropped out of high school. They lived in East Austin. My grandmother had 7 kids. Her husband got killed in the military, and my dad dropped out of high school to help me make ends meet. My mom finished high school and went to college, but came home due to being homesick and never went back. I've been a huge Aggie fan since I was 5 years old. It was then that I watched my first Texas Fighting Aggies football game at my aunt's house, and I was sold. That's what did it for me. I remember that day like it was yesterday. Coach Emory Billard was the head coach that year, and in 1975, A&M had one of their biggest records, most of their winning record in history. My goal in life from a young age was to obtain a degree from Texas A&M. The reputation, the core values, and the history that runs so deep literally gives me chills. Through the years, I've come to games, visited friends that attended Texas A&M, and still try to get here and get work assignments here as much as I can, so I can just be in the same town as Texas A&M, my very favorite school this side of heaven. I did not have the courage to enroll in the Bush School prior to November or December of 2019, and at the age 49, I went through a 6-week, every Sunday prep course to learn how to take the GRE. Man. After taking the GRE, I was sure I would not get into the Bush School. I did not feel any smarter after taking the GRE. In fact, I felt a little, you fill in the blank. It had been 17 years since I was in school last. I started working with Jana Stubbs to ensure I had everything turned in so I could enroll. Jana never wavered. Thank you. Thank you. She never wavered. She answered my phone calls. In fact, I kept thinking she's going to dodge my calls any day now. Sorry, got lost here. So I was accepted 1 month prior to me turning 50 years old. I started a journey that has been an answered prayer and a dream come true. All the stars aligned, and I was the happiest person alive when I received my acceptance letter. Texas A&M represents excellence, set the bar, integrity, character is destiny, leadership, follow me, loyalty, acceptance forever, respect, we are the Aggies are we, and selfless service. How can I be of service? These 6 core values have been a guiding light for me, and I hope all of you share those same values. These last 2 years have been more of a personal goal and a journey than a professional one. Do I want to utilize what I've learned these last 2 years professionally? Sure I do. This was an achievement so I could help others more. Whether that be professionally or personally, I believe it's both. I have learned a lot, and yes, I'm already using some of the things that I've learned from the Bush School in my personal and professional journey. The main portion here is it's all for his glory and to serve as many people as he allows. It's not about Tony. It's not about my family. It's about him. The program has been good to me, and I've tried to be good to the program. My professors and classmates have challenged me, pushed me, cheered for me, and even prayed for me and my family. They have been patient with my work schedule, when my mom passed, and even with a more recent illness within our family. I'm internally grateful to each of you, truly. To get a phone call, a text from instructors, Dr. Nakamura checked on me a lot. My classmates checked on me a lot. They kept me going. I'm internally grateful to each of you. For some of us, our first semester was spring of 2020. Little did we know the world around us would just totally shut down and stop due to COVID. For us as public servants, we kept going. Those we served depended on us to keep pushing through no matter what the situation was. We faced what some people said was the unfaceable. We rose to the challenge, and look at us today. To my fellow classmates, thank you. Thank you for the nights I was late to a Zoom call or had to drop a call early due to walking into a hospital working with a family that their toddler died because of child abuse. Working with a family that their son in his 30s got hijacked at a gas station and was ran over with his own car by 2 gang members. These are the moments that we're called to serve in. President George H.W. Bush once said, "In crucial things, unity. In important things, diversity. In all things, generosity." What an amazing example and legacy that President Bush led and left behind for all of us to learn from. The value of public service cannot be measured. President George H.W. Bush states, "Public service is a noble calling, and we need men and women of character to believe that we can make a difference in their communities, in their states, and in their country. The impact of our service to others has a ripple effect for many years to come. We will never know how many lives we have touched or will touch in the future by being good stewards and great public servants." Maya Angelou once said, "When we cast our bread upon the waters, we can presume that someone downstream whose face we will never know will benefit from our action, as we who are downstream from another will profit from the grantor's gift." I truly believe that. I see it every day. Those that depend on us are worthy to be helped, no matter their race, gender, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, or religious beliefs. Another quote from President Bush that I just love, and I just think it's amazing, is there could be no definition of a successful life that does not include service to others. Find something to do, get off the bench. Don't sit there whining, sucking your thumb, get into the game. In the days, weeks, months, and even years ahead, I challenge each of us to do more, be more, and when you can't give more anymore, give more. Earth is not our final destination, and I encourage each of us, starting with me, to be the change that we want to see. In the last couple of years, we've witnessed a lot of unrest in our country. It is time for us to unite, be one, no matter what. I had the honor of taking PSAA 616, Managing Workplace Diversity in Public and Nonprofit Organizations. Thank you, sir. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot through that class. It's helped me tremendously, personally, professionally. Diversity is more than just what people think it is. Dr. Ashley, that is here today, I am certain would not mind telling you that diversity is good and it can be solid if you allow it to be, but it starts here. Diversity is more than just the color of someone's skin or their gender or even one's native language. The performance management class is an amazing class. I learned a lot. In fact, I've purchased the book. I had it rented, was going to turn it in. I was like, no, I'm keeping this book. So I ended up purchasing it because it was amazing. Herman Iguinas defines performance management as a continuous process of identifying, measuring, and developing the performance of individuals and teams and aligning performance with the strategic goals of the organization. By this, we can serve more. We can use our techniques, our skill sets, and be strategic to get the job done to help even them more people. Dr. Bullock in statistics taught us a lot about indicators and validity and so much more. He had a servant's heart and made himself available all hours of the day and night to help us. And I think that was a trend with all of his classes. Dr. Nakamura, I don't even have the words, sir. I couldn't do it justice. You've continued to support. You've cheered us on to the finish line. He challenged us and made us stretch to think outside the box. Thank you, sir. To Lisa, Jennifer, Jana, Holly, Rebecca, and I hope I didn't leave anyone out, but I'm sure I did, so please forgive me, and the entire support staff at the Bush School, thank you. You all made us feel welcome during our residency week, prior and before, and after, this past summer. We were very well taken care of this week. You fed us well, that's why some of us have tight clothes on today, and ensured that we had everything we needed to have a successful week. The learning environment was incredible, and I can name so many things about the Bush School, but it would take me forever and a day to tell you about our experiences. It's one that will never be forgotten, and it was an experience that I will tell frequently. When we know better, we should do better. A quote from Jim Collins is, "Greatness is not a function of circumstance. Greatness, it turns out, is a largely matter of conscious choice and discipline," and I am so grateful that we all made that conscious choice to remain disciplined and finish this race. I would like to say a personal note of gratitude to my family here today. My wife and best friend, Julie, thank you for being my rock. I love you. You've been patient, understanding, and the calm to my storm during this journey. There were many nights you ate dinner alone, watched TV alone, and many other examples I could speak of, and you never asked me to stop. In fact, it was the opposite. You encouraged, you nurtured. When I was exhausted and when I had a headache so bad I couldn't hold my head up. When I doubted myself and did not think I could keep going, you cheered for me and told me I could keep going. Thank you, Julie. Our beautiful daughter and son-in-law, Taylor and Harley. Get ready, Mama's back. Y'all never wavered. You kept going with us. You knew it was not a forever thing. My dinosaur, monster truck, extraordinaire, 4-year-old grandson, Hudson. There are a lot of dinosaurs that need our attention, books to read, and fire pit time to catch up on, buddy. We're here. We made it, didn't we? He spent many a time saying, "Toners, how much more homework do you have?" And last but not least, our beautiful 6-month-old granddaughter, Reagan. We have many songs to sing and books to read, and she is a miracle you all graciously prayed for, so thank you. I'm going to leave us with one last final thought, is before I say this last thing, the first thing I meant to say was thank you, Chris. If you want to know what that's about, just ask Sarah. Was it Sarah? No, it was Rhonda. I felt it was appropriate to leave us, the Bush School class of 2021, with one final quote from President George H.W. Bush. The world must know and understand that from this hour, from this day, from this hall, we step forth with a new sense of purpose, a new sense of possibilities. We stand together prepared to swim upstream, to march uphill, to tackle the tough challenges as they come. Thank you, and giggle.
Thank you, Tony, for sharing those remarks and for serving as the class of 2021 speaker. And in honor of your service as the class, where are you?
Sorry. Just following the leader.
Don't follow me. In honor of your service as the class of 2021 speaker, I'd like to present you with this token of our appreciation. Okay. And we're going to take a picture over here, too. And I invite Dean Welch back to share podium, share some concluding comments.
Thanks, Ray. Thank you, ma'am, for those comments. And for those of you who haven't spent much time around the Bush School or around the students that come here, maybe now you can see why we love this job. They're remarkable. They're just remarkable. Most of you are already public servants. You serve your families, your communities, you serve your fellow citizens. Thank you for setting that example for all of us. I know you understand both the value and the impact of principled leadership and of professional values. You demonstrate daily that public service is a noble calling, and we can't thank you enough for that. Thanks for your commitment to others. Thanks for making your corner of the world a better place to live and to work. Please never underestimate the impact that you personally have on that world and on the environment around it, and never question whether you can make a difference, because each one of you already has. You already serve your communities, your cities, your state, your nation, and your world in a remarkable way, and we just know that that service is going to continue to grow and expand and impact more and more people. We just want you to know how proud we are of you and how we are here to help. If you need anything, if you need support, if you need ideas, if you need to think through something, call us. The education doesn't end now for any of us. It just continues to grow and to expand, and we need you to come back and help teach us and help teach our future classes. We'd love to have you. Please stay connected with you. We want to see you at alumni events. We want to see you in our classrooms when you have time to come visit. We want you to meet our next classes of students. We want to know how you're doing, and we want you to tell us how we're doing, because you'll have views on that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close our celebration, we would ask the audience to remain seated until all the students and the faculty have had a chance to depart the back of the auditorium and headed to the lobby. And for the students and faculty, please head to the flag mural in the lobby when you get out there so we can get the pictures done up front. And for family and friends, you're invited to join us in the foyer for a celebration after this event. We can't wait to get to meet you a little bit. Thank you again for attending today. For those on Zoom, thanks for taking your time to join us. And for the graduates who are on Zoom, congratulations again. As you stand to depart, please know you go with our great respect, our thanks for choosing this institution of learning, and our promise that we're behind you every step of the way from here on out. Thanks for joining this family. It's an honor to have you in it. Please join me in one final round of applause as our graduates depart the auditorium.